Hello, everyone. I'm here today to talk about part one of a 24-part series on the nodes. Now, as an evolutionary astrologer, I believe that everything in the chart is seeded and placed with intention, with soul intention. So I believe everything has evolution, everything is karmically placed. But the purpose of this today and the next 23 weeks is to share and talk about each side of the nodal axis. So, what is the transiting south node? Let me start there briefly. The transiting south node is like the portal. This is the entry point of the soul's, first breath. As we come into this physical manifestation, the astrology chart we've chosen has a portal, which is the South Node, and is symbolic of the feeling memory, the heart memory, the soul memory that we bring into this lifetime so that we can replay and pick up from where we left off. To continue the resolving and healing the unresolved, incomplete pieces of the soul. So today I'm kicking off by talking about Aries. Now, if you want some more information, I do have on this YouTube channel a little bit more about what is evolutionary astrology. And in there, I go a little bit more into depth with working with the nodes. So if you want to play that first, please do, and then you can hop back in here. So I'm sure there will be a lot of people out there that are watching this that will have an Aries South node. So, of course, that does not mean that you're all going to have the same patterns and imprints, but it does mean that portal, the energy point of which you've come into this lifetime, is like, a fast running river of cardinal fire. So, Aries energy on the South Node, we work with the South Node in varieties of ways. I greatly believe that the South Node is a very powerful point that we're not forgetting. We often hear or read things, that we're forgetting the South Node and we're just developing the North Node. But the South Node is way, way more powerful than just a forgetting. It's embedded and, the Aries South node is going to have a memory. It's going to have a lot of strengths as well. So, when we consider working with Aries energy, particularly when we're talking about the South node, we are also going to need to be considering Mars. Why Mars? Because Mars is the ruler of Aries. And so when we're looking at somebody's nodal story, we want to understand Mars. And we want to understand the South Node, amongst many other things. So if you have reincarnated into this lifetime with an Aries South Node, and of course with Mars as the ruler, these are the things that we want to be taking into account. And each of you may have Mars in a different sign, in a different house, making different aspects, with, of course, the South Node in a different sign, making different aspects. So there are many, many, many roots that will, extend out over our collective. So if you have Mars as your South Node portal, perhaps you come in with some incredible warrior-like strengths. Perhaps you're pioneering. Perhaps you like to really lead the way. There is a sense of, power and hypervigilance, always ready to jump into the next emergency. There's a sense of drive and goals and maybe even some restlessness. Now, of course, depending on what Mars is in, where Mars is, and other aspects to Mars, that's going to give us a lot of information about this Aries South Node energy. And of course, we know that when we get to it, the North Node in Libra is going to be part of the remedy. What I would have you asking is just this. With an Aries South Node, with this powerful, restless, perhaps impatient, drive and force to assert oneself, to be the warrior, to be the pioneer, to be the survivor. What in the feeling memory of your soul has you remembering something that didn't quite go to plan? In what way was this Aries energy interrupted? In what way were you not able to forge a strong sense of who am I? In what way was identity challenged? Where did you not have the courage? And that's such a great Aries word. To stand up and say, here I am. This is me. Pay attention. I have something to say. In what way is there a sense that you weren't able to be true to who you were? Or perhaps that you didn't have the courage to assert yourself in the way that you maybe wanted to. Or perhaps you weren't able to rely on your own means and stand on your own 2 feet. These would all be major challenges that, don't take away from the gifts of that cardinal fire spark, but they have the soul's feeling memory, remembering that somehow something did not go as planned as to me being able to know who I am and me being able to survive, that survival was perhaps challenged. How did that leave me feeling? Angry, resentful, defensive, volatile? Who knows? Because, of course, there's much more to the chart. But these are, of course, all energies that are quite possible. Reflecting on where the ruler Mars may be is going to give us a lot of clues as to how this South Node is being fed and where is the need for healing and having the courage. If we have it in the first house, that's the natural Aries house. So perhaps South Node in the first house in Aries is going to really intensify this need to define oneself. It's also going to intensify the memory that somehow the last time you defined yourself, something may not have quite gone to plan and left you feeling responsible. So this is where, we carry these blockages, and when we can release them in this lifetime, it's a big weight off our shoulders. If we had the South Node in Aries in the 4th house, perhaps our emotional security is part of where we really felt threatened. Perhaps we didn't stand up to our family. Perhaps our emotional foundations are wobbly. Perhaps the inner image that we have of ourselves or the childhood experiences or the parental marriage have been disrupted in this lifetime as a reflection of what we've brought forward to heal and work on. The 7th house, perhaps our relationships are a key focus. I just gave myself away to everybody else. I never allowed myself to be me in the relationships. I never stood up for anything and just made sure everyone else's needs were met, leaving me feeling a little frustrated in this lifetime every time I enter a relationship that has me overlooked. Now, I could keep going, of course. This is a huge topic. But for all of you out there that have an Aries South Node, at the core of your soul, the root is cardinal fire. There is a need for some new beginnings in relation to who you are, how you take action, and the drive and force that you use to create your goals and to know thyself. So, until the next episode 2, which will be the Taurus South Node, have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.